Please cancel me. Yeah, I'm saying it right now. The last videos that I put out have probably made it clear that I'm just itching to be canceled. Why? Because it's going to be career rocket fuel. Oh my god. I'm gonna take off if I can get canceled. Oh, I can't wait for it. Isn't it kind of amazing that cancellation basically means that you're just going to get more work or a bigger fan base now? It's the weirdest thing you can possibly imagine, but here we are. So let's just go with it. To be honest with you, I think that the whole thing about cancel culture is kind of a sham. I don't think that it's really happening any more than it's been happening in the past. It's just going by a different name now. The only difference is back in the day, if somebody had said something in a public forum that didn't go over very well, they would simply say, "Oh, I apologize for the statements that I made. They were insensitive. I didn't think about the harm that they could possibly cause, blah, 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 blah," right? That's what they would do. But now, instead of apologizing for the shitty thing that you said, what you can do is just complain that you are being canceled, and you can keep saying the shitty thing that you wanted to say. And people can make you the victim. Isn't that amazing? I know! Case in point, Gina Carano, who made some very interesting statements on social media repeatedly and refused to stop doing so, and lost her job on The Mandalorian, which was being produced by Disney, a company that likes controversy almost as much as it likes fair use law. And then she got picked up by whatever, the Daily Wire thing, and is probably looking at a multiple movie deal, and probably a new book, and a whole bunch of other things that say that actually the shitty opinions I shared online are the reason I'm great. Not really cancellation. I didn't think you came back from that. Or take the case of Piers Morgan, who was so proactive that he canceled himself. He just canceled himself because he knew how important it was. Literally, he made a lot of statements about Meghan Markle that seemed pretty mean for reasons no one can really understand. And then a co-host of his on a show he does called him out on that and said, "I don't know what your problem is, but maybe we should talk about it." And instead of addressing the issue at hand, Piers Morgan walked out like a little baby having a temper tantrum and later said that he canceled himself, which we used to call quitting. And now it's looking like he might have a really good deal at another news network that's going to give him his own show, blah, 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 blah. So, hey, cancellation seems to be working really good for people. It's almost like it's a marketing scheme. And it seems like it's a marketing scheme mostly in Hollywood and other entertainment areas of the population, where D-list celebrities who think that they are very, very important can make themselves out to be the victims, instead of just D-list celebrities that weren't very good at their job. Because here's the thing nobody really wants to say. The reason people get fired from these jobs after giving their terrible opinions or being terrible people is not because of woke media. It's because companies that look to make money have brand identities that they expect people working for them are going to respect. And at a certain point, they have to ask themselves if the controversy those people are bringing to the table outweighs the amount of money that they are making from them as part of their brand. Because think about it. If Baby Yoda had said the same things that Gina Carano said on social media and was also a real person, do you think Baby Yoda would have gotten fired from The Mandalorian? No, because it's Baby Yoda. They sell those figurines like it is going out of style. Disney makes so much money on that little green angel. They are not going to let him go because he makes them too much money. It doesn't matter if he's a little bit eccentric. It doesn't matter if he has terrible opinions. He's making them cash. People started wondering if some of the things that Pedro Pascal might have said once upon a time were going to come back to haunt him, and maybe they should fire him. There's a problem with that. He's literally the Mandalorian. The show is named after his character. I don't see how you are going to do that. Again, they're more important to the story and to the franchise than Cara Dune. There's a lot of eccentric stars in Hollywood that have some really weird beliefs, but they can have them and still get plenty of work because they're A-list celebrities. Tom Cruise can jump up on Oprah's couch and start shouting at the top of his lungs, and it's not going to affect his career because he's Tom Cruise. Duh! This works for brands, too, by the way. Remember the Dr. Seuss thing? Remember those 6 books that nobody ever read? Which is actually one of the main reasons why they stopped selling it, because they actually weren't selling any of the books. It was very, very minimal, and it's probably going to end up costing them more to produce it. Books are costly to actually make. Anyway, the point is, the estate of Dr. Seuss decided that these 6 books were going to be ones that they don't publish anymore. They were going to remove them from shelves because they didn't fit the brand. Remember, Dr. Seuss is supposed to be books for kids. And then they saw these books and they said, well, some of the imagery and some of the themes are probably outdated, and we want to appeal to children and their parents. So maybe we don't have these. The response back was absolute outrage that Dr. Seuss was canceled. They canceled all of the Dr. Seuss, well, 6 of the Dr. Seuss, and most of them are complete second-tier works that nobody was reading. But yeah, they sure did. And I think it is so funny that the way that we combated this is you had people outraged at canceling Dr. Seuss and the decision that the estate of Dr. Seuss made. They wanted to show protest by buying a lot more Dr. Seuss merchandise that was going to directly benefit the estate of Dr. Seuss. It's funny to me. It really is. It's almost like that was a really smart marketing decision for the estate of Dr. Seuss, isn't it? So these 6 books that proved to be kind of offensive in modern day and that we sold less than 10 copies of in the last year, we sack them so that we can end up selling a lot more copies of The Cat in the Hat and Green Eggs and Ham and a bunch of other things. Wow, what a terrible business decision. There's actually been some really good videos. hbomberguy once did a great video about woke brands, talking about that there's actually a real marketing reason why brands would actually associate themselves with something that might cause outrage in a certain part of the population, because people that agree with your idea are going to associate your brand with that idea, and people who hate that idea are just going to give you tons of free press hating on you. It's actually really smart business sense in the modern day. I highly recommend that video too. It's much, much longer than this. Get a nice cup of coffee or something and sit down and watch that. Harry's great. I'm actually kind of surprised that people who were ostracized for much more egregious things in the past are not coming back now to say that actually they got canceled and try to spin it as being them being persecuted for their beliefs. Could you imagine if David Dukes came out and said that he had gotten canceled because of this all-white club he belongs to? And there would be people that defended him because he was a victim of the cancel culture. Can you imagine if Charlie Manson explained that he's in jail just because people be hating? It's these woke people got me in here. Yeah, I can't believe they canceled Charlie Manson, right? I'm really surprised that more, white supremacist groups aren't using this. I feel like they even realize that that's, too stupid and silly for them. But why not? Go for it. Try it out. See if it works. It's gonna be hilarious for me. I'm gonna love every minute of it. I would absolutely just die laughing if the neo-Nazis came out to say that Hitler was getting canceled by the woke mob, just so that I could watch Ted Cruz try to jump on like the anti-SJW bandwagon and start selling copies of Mein Kampf that he autographed at his rallies to try and own the libs. Oh my god, I would be rolling on the floor laughing my butt off. It would be amazing. He's probably not going to do that, but you never know. I'm not putting anything past Ted. Allegedly, folks. Allegedly. Literally, I'm not saying anybody did that. Oh no, am I going to get canceled now? Great! Finally! The truth of the matter is that people throughout history have been quote-unquote canceled. But a lot of times it was just because of who they were inherently. Maybe they weren't the right race, the right sex, the right gender. Maybe they didn't have the right identity. Maybe they didn't have the right name. Maybe they didn't come from the right country. But a lot of them got canceled for reasons that were completely outside of their control. And the people that are complaining about cancel culture now didn't think anything of it then. But now, it's a great excuse for D-list entertainers to make themselves seem like they're far, far more important than they actually are. To try and give themselves far more credibility by being the victims of cancel culture, so that they can go to at least C-tier status until people start to realize that they actually aren't very good at their job. So please, to reiterate, please cancel me. Find a way. I will gain so many more followers. I will be able to create an entire brand off of it. I mean, let's face it, there are conservative commentators that have made their entire careers off of this, even though they're not very good at actually commentating. So, why shouldn't I? Why shouldn't I? Cancel me for any reason. Cancel me because of the suit. Maybe you don't like blue. Why have I been wearing this blue suit for all this time? I thought it popped. The hat? You don't like the hat? Maybe that's a reason to cancel. Anything? Nothing? Do you know how many sponsors I'm gonna get out of this? Your prophecy for the day. Bulbasaur is the best Pokemon. Oh! Yeah! Hashtag please cancel me. If that won't do it, I don't know what will.